Through 4 weeks of the NHL season, it is a tale of two conferences. On the one hand, you have the Western Conference, which is made up of the haves and the have-nots. On the other, the Eastern Conference, where the glut of teams are separated by only a few points. So that makes a tier list infinitely harder, but we're still going to try, starting at the bottom with the four atrocities. That's right, the Calgary Flames and San Jose Sharks are now joined by two other teams in the St. Louis Blues and Nashville Predators. Once again, just so many teams in the Western Conference who are not at all good, and I know that the Predators might be the best of this bunch, but they have also been extremely lucky to get 14 points that they have right now. Their minus 12 goal differential is actually third worst in the Western Conference, so I think that they are going to be coming back down to earth. I have no faith that they're going to be a good team. Up one tier, we have the pathetic teams that include the New York Rangers, Minnesota Wild, and Vancouver Canucks. The Wild and Canucks, no surprise, they're at the bottom of the West, but the New York Rangers, they are in the middle of that glut of teams in the Eastern Conference, but they also lost to the Sharks and the Flames last week, and that's just something that cannot be forgiven. One tier above them, we have two teams that I think are on the come down in the Philadelphia Flyers and the Chicago Blackhawks. I know that the standings don't necessarily reflect that, but these are two teams who are just playing way over their skis, and you can see that their hot starts might have been a little bit of a mirage. Sort of a similar situation for the two teams in the next tier in the Blue Jackets and the Islanders, two teams who have racked up a few points to start the season, but I just do not believe in their talent. I think that they are going to come down, but unlike the Blackhawks and the Flyers, who have already sort of started to taper up a little bit, these two are still kind of going strong. Then above them, we have the biggest tier of the entire tier list, and that is the mid teams. That includes the Anaheim Ducks, Toronto Maple Leafs, LA Kings, Buffalo Sabres, Washington Capitals, Florida Panthers, and Boston Bruins. All these teams have one major flaw that's going to prevent them from being among the top contenders. Some of them I had high hopes for, like the Caps, Panthers, and the Maple Leafs. Others are surprises, like the Ducks, and others are just kind of meandering along, like the Kings, Sabres, and the Bruins. Next, we have a tier that is just one team, and it's the Ottawa Senators, which is, dear God, get a goalie. The Ottawa Senators are one of the best teams in the NHL in terms of the underlying analytics, but they, for the love of God, just do not have a goaltender who can make a save for them. Merzlikins and Mierlinen have both been atrocious when they've gotten to play. If the Ottawa Senators ever got, passable goaltending, they would be one of the best teams in the NHL. Right above them, the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are still on fraud watch, and you can already see things starting to come apart a little bit for the Pens. They've now lost 2 in a row, and analytically, they're still very, very shaky. Up above them, two teams that are sleeping in. The Edmonton Oilers still here, but so are the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have started to stabilize over the last few weeks. They are one of those glut teams in the Eastern Conference, but I have every confidence that the talent will come online and they will emerge as one of the contenders in the East. Next up, we have the second biggest tier, and that is of solid teams that include the Red Wings, Vegas Golden Knights, Mammoth, Seattle Kraken, Hurricanes, Canadiens, and Devils. All of these teams, I think, are just very, very solid. And while there are a few surprises in there, like the Red Wings, Mammoth, and Kraken, for the most part, I think these are well-constructed rosters, and they're going to be very good teams through the rest of the season. But they are not among the elite teams, which includes the Winnipeg Jets, Colorado Avalanche, and now the Dallas Stars. That's right, Dallas has finally gotten off of that early schneid. I think they're back to being one of the better teams in the Western Conference, with Winnipeg and Colorado, who are two of the best teams in the NHL right now.